And welcome back to the Freeway Dance. Episode 3 is free of free. I'm MakonCrayley, and I'm joined here today by AliRock.
Hey, we're back.
We are indeed. And we are here with Ryan.
I rolled a 6. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, it means,
If it's a six-sided dice, that's good.
yeah, actually, wait, what size is it?
It is a D20.
D20,
That's
okay,
not
so
that
we'll
good.
see. Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan. A 6 means that you have a small peepee.
It means you'll be terminated.
Yeah, no, that's a 1.
No.
if it's a one, he gets replaced by Jack. Uh,
Wait, but I have advantage.
Oh,
Natural
true.
20.
Oh, that means you get the key then, and you can use that key.
Yeah, what can the key be used for?
You can open the gate with
What-
it, Ryan.
Look, we don't talk
What
about
kind
that.
of gate?
We don't talk, we
What
don't
kind
talk
of
about
gate?
it. We don't touch it. We don't touch it because it is untouchable. So
But-
we do not
but
open
someone-
the untouchable gate.
But we're rebels, so we're
already
doing it anyway.
We have lost control. We are doing Dragon Gate USA, the untouchable gate. Open the
Open the
untouchable gate.
untouchable. Yeah.
We have to open it.
Okay.
Right?
Well, I'm going to open this with a little background as to why we're talking about it.
Yes.
Because we're talking about what were some of our fundamental shows that kind of shaped who we were. Last time we talked about how Mac watched his first SmackDown. This time we're going to talk about the first indie show. Actually, it wasn't even the show, just the first indie match I saw. Because in 2009 or 2010, I was just scrolling through the internet and I saw a list of the best matches that year. And number 1 was Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. But then number 2 was a match that appeared on this show, and I had never heard of any of the people there, but I figured, hey, if people are saying this is one of the best matches of the year, might check it out. And needless to say, that match is it was my gateway drug into indie wrestling.
Now, Ryan, tell me, how much exactly did you love the Young Bucks versus Ryo Saito and Genki Horiguchi?
We'll get to this. We'll get to it when we get to it. But that is not the match I was talking about.
Yeah, no fucking duh. But yeah, we will get to that match eventually.
Indeed.
And...
So,
oh God,
Ryan.
Ryan.
Okay, Ryan, tell us,
What
Ryan.
was that?
What? Ryan, tell us. What is Dragon Gate USA?
Evolve.
Yeah, that basically sums it up. It's Gabe's fucking thing.
It was Dragon Gate's attempt to break into the U.S. Not unlike New Japan and Strong today.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what company is Strong going to evolve into?
Anyway, the point is,
Oh,
Dragon Gate USA did not last that long.
Yeah, it was only like what 4 years? Actually,
It was about 5 years.
5. Okay.
And that's not even bringing up that they also had Dragon Gate UK.
Wait, what? I did not.
We're
know
not
that.
getting into that today.
That's actually news to me. Holy shit.
But yeah, Dragon Gate USA was originally them fusing the top indie stars of the US with their big stars from Japan. One of the reasons it did eventually turned into Evolve is because eventually, to my knowledge, the Dragon Gate stars showed up less and less, and it basically just became another US indie. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But it did kind of lose what distinguished itself from other promotions.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, because this is only their second show, right?
I think so. It's hard to tell because when you're looking up the events, I think the event list on Cage Match has the show and then like what they called the show for the DVD.
Yeah, look, I was gonna bring that up. Yeah, like the cage match is fucked for it because it's just two of the same fucking show. Because it confused the absolute fuck out of me. Cage
But
match,
yeah, like
please,
yeah,
please fix it.
eh. The point is, I mean, this was still a pretty good show. Overall
Oh, yeah.
thoughts on the show, guys?
I enjoyed it.
I thought it was really good. Maybe not the same quality as a high level like proper Dragon Gate pay per view, but it was still really good.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
like it's a solid tier like indie show.
I'd say more than solid tier because it had two like
definitely more.
fantastic matches on it.
Oh yeah, true. Actually, yeah, very true.
Yeah. You know, the first one of those we had Dragon Kid and Masato Yoshino.
Yeah, two of the best.
So, I mean, before we get into the match itself, I just want to say, what beats a packed small venue?
A packed big venue.
No, I disagree.
Oh.
I think that the bigger venue, you lose some of the, like, yeah, it's got like the quote unquote atmosphere, but you're gonna lose a lot. The bigger the venue, like, I don't like stadium shows.
You know, fair, very fair actually. Like, cause, like, obviously you have that like the cool visual of like all the people, but like, yeah, you kind of lose a lot of like sound, I guess. Like, it does become sort of muddled.
I think it's very
but
dependent
like
on the show.
natural,
Because if you
natural.
compare it to say like a prime like '90s Tokyo Dome show, that still got insane like atmosphere and sound and everything. I think it's not exactly fair to say a stadium show does not necessarily have these things.
Yeah, I'd
I'm just,
say like an outdoor.
I'm saying by
like,
pure,
arena is, like,
pure,
the worst.
pure science and acoustics, though, is what I'm saying.
True.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I know Yoshino from one match, and
Oh, yeah.
it's the same match that I know Naruki Doi from,
Oh yeah.
and it's actually one of those very common matches that people cite, and it's Speed Muscle versus the Motor City Machine Guns in TNA.
Oh, okay.
It was like a 3 or 4 minute long match, but it was incredible just because it was so fun and quick, and it did wonders on selling me on watching more than just what was going on outside of WWE and TNA. I didn't take that jump for a while, case in point this show, but it was a nice memory.
No.
So did you remember Yoshino and Doi when you watched the show initially, or did you forget?
I'll be honest, I basically just watched that one match the first time.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of this show I'm watching for the first time.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. Very interesting.
But that one match was a big deal for me as far as my fandom. So,
And
Bet.
the nice thing is, I don't actually know which match you're referring to here.
well, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lenny Leonard and Phil Colvin. Who the fuck are these two?
I don't know.
I've
can't
literally
tell,
never
can't
heard
tell
of
you.
these guys in my entire life.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
Lenny
that's
Leonard
not
sounds like a
necessarily
cartoon character name.
that's not necessarily a damning thing. But while we're
That's
getting
not a bad
nitpicks out of the
thing.
way,
But,
no, not at all. But while we're getting nitpicks out of the way, this is early for this to get on my nerves. But man, that animation graphic for the nameplate takes so long.
oh, you mean the opening deal? Like the
No,
opening deal or like
the
the actual
nameplates.
nameplate?
No, the nameplates, especially
Oh.
like during entrances, and especially when it's like, I don't know who this person is. Can you please tell me already?
Oh yeah, no, I get what you mean. I get what you, because like it's usually when they're already in the ring that like it finally shows up. No, it's like it's not a very long ramp, so yeah.
So we got Yoshino facing off against Dragon Kid. They gave some background that Dragon Kid beat Yoshino at the previous Dragon Gate USA show.
Yes. I actually have like the sort of the singles history like right here of Yoshino and Dragon Kid. because they've had since 2003 8 singles matches, which
Up
Dragon
until
Kid's
this
won
point or
5
until
of.
now?
Yeah, up until this point. Like I have also like
Okay.
the overall one, which we'll go into like at the end of the match. But yeah, like they've had 8 since 2003 up to this point, and Dragon Kid is leading with 5 wins to Yoshino's 3.
That's quite interesting because it's funny because looking at it now, Yoshino is a higher ranking wrestler than Dragon Kid
Yeah,
over their entire career. So it's quite interesting that at this point Dragon Kid actually had the winning record over him.
yeah. Actually, so I guess it may as well just go into this now. Like after this, they had like how many? Like another 6 matches, and the final score was Dragon Kid with 8 wins over Yoshino 7. But Yoshino won the very first match, and he won the last 4.
Last 4, yeah, that makes sense. I think.
Yeah.
So this is why I say like this is why I piss off a lot of like pure wrestling fans when I say things like that's why I feel bad watching older wrestling, because Dragon Kid's really good and
Yes.
we know this.
Mhm.
But I feel like if I actually watched this in 2009, my mind would have been blown.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Because, like, then again, I feel like you can say that for, like, pretty much every other year with, like, a lot of fucking, like, lucha dudes. Like, lucha style dudes.
Yeah, like if I watched this before I knew Lucha Underground existed, well, because this was pre Lucha Underground, I'd be like, oh my god. Because at the time, one of the only, like, basically the only luchador knowledge I had was Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Who was
Honestly,
really good, but
honestly, this is exactly me with fucking Ray Phoenix, like, in Lucha Underground.
but that said, I was rolling my eyes at one point because I was partway through the match. I'm like, oh, another Hurricane Rana. Nope, submission.
Yeah, true.
I'll say this. Like, Dragon Kid's got a knack for taking what looks like it's just gonna be a head scissor and then doing something other than a head scissor. And like we see that multiple times in this match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the big
Also,
things though is like, oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say though, with Dragon Kid, I did notice a move that in maybe the last 10 years or so got really popular was the Stun Dog Millionaire, and I think this, to my knowledge, to my memory at least, he did this in this match that I had never seen it done earlier than this. I could be wrong, which I thought was quite interesting because it was several years later that move got popular, and now everyone does it, right?
I mean, the move was popularized by Sanjay Dutt,
Stun Dog
who was
Millionaire,
already
really?
Well, I mean, you would. I'm just saying, like, Sanjay Dutt was honestly probably past his prime by now, so he'd definitely been doing it for a long time before this.
It's only
I do not remember
2009
Sanjay
though.
Dutt doing the Stun Dog Millionaire.
I was saying neither, because like was he still doing the say lethal
The
feud this
Moonstone.
time, or like were they on the outs?
I don't know, but
I don't know.
the point. Neither here nor there.
Yeah, true. What is here nor there is Dragon Kid, because he folds all the fucking time off moves. Like he takes a chop. He takes a fucking chop, and like he goes down and just folds in half. Like it is the fucking wildest shit.
Yeah, these guys have. I mean, okay, maybe might not be a very popular opinion, but I like Dragon Gate in general. But these guys are so small. Like they're in great condition and everything, but they're so small and bendy. It's quite interesting to see.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
mean,
also
that's
not exactly my favorite kind of build for wrestlers, if you know what I mean.
I mean, fair, but like that's a sort of how Dragon Gate's always been. Like it's always been like, you know, the smaller guys, the more nimble, like flippy guys, essentially.
I know.
And like it's fucking sick. It's super sick because like even now, like you have some of the sickest like smaller fucking guys, like fucking Sun Skywalker, who we hate, for the record. But yeah, like I don't know what point I'm making.
I don't know, but I do want to correct myself before it gets out of hand. It turns out that I was fed false information. Sanjay
Oh,
Dutt did not invent the Stundog Millionaire.
ah,
Who
do you
did?
know
You know?
who did?
It's up for contention. It might have been Mark Andrews. It might have been
Well, it wasn't Mark
uh,
Andrews if Dragon Kid did it before him. So
might have been Toriumon.
Oh, actually, yeah, no, that kind of makes sense.
very good chance it actually was Dragon Kid potentially.
Yeah, yeah, very very good chance. Also, one thing I need to ask: what the fuck is the ground? Is it carpet? Is it concrete?
I think it's just concrete.
Why? Okay, so in that case, why are there no pads? Like, why is there no padding? Like, do you want to
Why
get your
not?
fucking guys? I mean, do you want to fucking keep bumping on concrete?
because they're just doing a show on because despite being one of the more popular promotions in Japan and America, they're just a small time indie.
I mean, yeah,
So they
but
can't
like,
afford mats.
I'm sure you can afford like
How many can genuinely? I
That's
don't
it. You know
remember.
what? You know what? Fair actually, because I don't even know how much pads would be. But like,
Point is,
yeah, I mean,
so I mean, the point is, I just want to give a shout out to that lightning spiral counter that Yoshino pulled out,
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then that finish.
Oh yeah, the finish was incredible.
Yes, the crucifix thingy, right?
Yep. And now I don't know if Yoshino can speak English, but I like that the language of wrestling is universal. So just from his motions, you know exactly what he's shouting at the ref.
Ah,
Which,
true.
like, I got my shoulder up. No, you didn't.
Yeah, like this was a very fucking fun match. Like, honestly, this was kind of the perfect like opener for this kind of show.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, this
it
is
was
just
a
what. Yeah.
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's just funny because I don't know if other promotions in Japan follow the way that cards are made mostly in New Japan, but New Japan was typically, you don't start with a hot opener. You start from the bottom, and each match is supposed to build on the last one until the main event, which is the biggest match. So I don't know. I don't know if Dragon Gate does the hot opener, but the hot opener is not typically what I've seen with the Japanese shows that I've seen.
I
As far as like
think
the match, the card assembly.
I think okay. I think typically like they do like the standard like you start with like a tag match or something, but like I think they have also done like put this really fucking sick match like on first like at points.
And well, even in you think about some big New Japan shows like Wrestle Kingdom, or whatever, they used to often start with a high octane match, like a junior tag team title match or something like that. So it's not unheard of even in New Japan. To be fair, on certain shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, this was basically it. Just felt like it was a good match. It's like a standard good Dragon Gate match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it was fun.
yeah, nice
It
way to
was
start.
exciting.
Yeah,
Give it a nice.
exactly.
I'll give it a nice 7.
Me
Yeah,
too.
seven's kind of perfect.
So then we got Jigsaw and Mike Quackenbush versus Gran Akuma and Yamato.
Nah, hang the fuck
Yamato,
on
we
a
were
minute.
waiting for you to say that.
Nah. God, like why
You
were they
said-
pronouncing? Why were they
You said
pronouncing it like that?
exactly. You said his name the exact same way the commentators were saying it. And when I was watching this, I was thinking, why do the commentators keep pronouncing his name like that?
Like
Well, tell me how you pronounce it.
Yamato.
Yamato.
Eh. I'm going by the Devil May Cry pronunciation. Thank you very much.
Fair.
Fair
But,
enough, actually.
I mean, actually, it's literally in the theme though. I'm standing here in my Yamato spirit.
Oh yeah.
Nobody's listening to lyrics of theme songs.
Not, no,
Unless
you
it's
have to be
Yamato.
listening. This is Dragon Gate, which has the best fucking lyrics in entrance music. Like, I mean,
Anyway.
we just had Yoshino, who has one of the greatest.
Yeah, he's
themes of all
lightning in the
time.
jungle.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Anyway.
so anyway, I think like
so-
the history behind this match is that something like Yamato and Gran Akuma like hate fun or something.
Like, it's almost kind of like a feud over Chikara?
Kind of, yeah. And like, this is peak like Chikara 2.
So before,
Anyway.
what did you expect of this match, by the way, before it started?
I don't know. Like, how should I put this? I vaguely knew Jigsaw from a couple of TNA appearances. Quackenbush, for some reason, I keep mixing up with Mikey Whipwreck.
What?
That's
Just
interesting.
Just because Quackenbush and Whippersnapper sound like Quackenbush just sounds like one of it sounds like Hackenschmidt. Like, it sounds like one of those old
George Hackenschmidt.
wrestling names.
How?
Like, it sounds like one of those old wrestling names. Like,
Okay, I think I can get how you get
Yeah,
the
I
Whippersnapper.
kind of, yeah, I get it.
and
I
so,
guess.
well, okay. So what it was is, what it was that I just kept comparing it. The reason Whipwreck came up is because I was remembering there was a very short term period where Whipwreck was hanging out with, I don't remember the name of them in Ring of Honor, but they were like the stable where everyone was named after a drug. Like Izzy
What?
and Dixie and Angel Dust.
I do not know what the fuck that
Yeah.
is.
I got no idea either.
Angel Dust and Priso was in TNA though, so listen, I think. Well, yeah, whatever. Like, honestly, my Whipwreck probably wouldn't have fucking run like Chikara into the ground like Quackenbush
Special
did.
K.
Special K. Ah,
cereal?
okay.
Angel Dust.
Angel Dust. Yes.
And then Cheech and Cloudy and Hydro
What
and
are
Mikey
these?
Whipwreck.
What are these
What-
fucking names?
Yeah, which drugs are
They were a
these?
stable in Ring of Honor.
What drugs were Ring of Honor on?
Those ones, apparently.
Oh
Look.
man.
Look, it was a long time ago. It was like
Yeah, it was
2003.
It was the early.
It was back when people still used Urban Dictionary.
Oh god, who does still use Urban Dictionary?
The point is, Quackenbush is better than his name suggests.
Oh yeah, no, he's actually really fucking good.
I knew he was like meant to be like good in terms of like his technical skill or whatever, but I was more impressed than I was expecting by him in this match. That's why I actually asked you this question in the first place, because he surprised me. I did not realize he was actually as good as he is.
Oh
yeah, because like when he came out, I was like, oh no, it's Mike Quackenbush. But as the match kept going, it's like, oh wait, oh no, this is actually it's Mike Quackenbush.
Yeah, but I do have grievances, because there was an odd spot where Quackenbush broke up just a valid submission, and
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he
He jumped
booed,
on Yamato's face.
and like the crowd started booing, and I'm sitting here going, okay, the story thus far has been that they're supposed to be the faces.
Like, I think it might just be because of how he did it with like just a running double stomp to Yamato's face, and Yamato seemed genuinely pissed off. Like, I couldn't tell if it
they
was,
traded
like,
a few shots
joking or
afterward
not.
as well, I think.
Well, I mean, and on top of that, like, I kind of just accepted it partway through this match, and maybe I just missed them saying it on commentary or whatnot. But it wasn't until the main event that I realized, oh, they use lucha tag rules.
Yeah, no, that's what I was so fucking confused during this match because like they just kept coming in and out, and I didn't know if it was lucha rules or not.
I mean, it's Dragon Gate, guys. Lucha Resu is called that for a reason.
Yeah, true. But like, does Dragon Gate like naturally use lucha rules?
Well, I mean, they actually said it in the main event that it makes sense since most of their people go to Mexico to train.
I mean, yeah, true.
So I don't envy when a ref isn't able to, or I don't envy refs when a wrestler's not able to get their shoulders down for like a pin.
Mhm.
Like, you don't want to be seen overtly counting shoulders that aren't down. But if you call out that the shoulders aren't down, you risk killing the whole momentum of the match.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Like it's a necessary evil, pretty much.
Yeah. Another necessary. I kind of wish, like, it's also I think it's a shame that Jigsaw kind of botched his comeback spot where he did like the stomp and tried to do into a head scissor, and some fans, and those fans might be you two, will say stuff like, well, it makes sense, his legs was worked over, but I don't know, I think it would have just been cooler if he hit the move.
I mean, yeah, like it mostly depends on like the context of like how fucked up is the leg, but like no, I can understand like the disappointment and like it looking less cool than it could have been.
I mean, just
But
generally
that
speaking,
led to
though,
these-
I
yeah.
do think Jigsaw was kind of the, I guess the weaker part of this puzzle. I guess.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow.
Well, that brings us to Quackenbush with the, again, this is not it's not a tag match, so there's no hot tag, but that backpack face buster rolled into the crucifix pin was, I don't know, I can't really articulate how, but it was perfect and I loved it.
Yeah, Krakenbush.
Do you mean like the pile driver thing?
No.
Oh, no. When he did he had a backpack, spun around, face buster.
Oh yes.
And then he just
yes.
rolled over to the pin.
Krakenbush is literally like the I have a million fucking finishers, but none of these are my finisher guy.
Ah, like QT Marshall.
Basically, yeah, like just a lankier QT Marshall.
I mean, I think he's also better,
but
yeah,
well, yeah,
he is. He's like the perfect like fucking. He's a guy that I'm surprised nobody else has really stolen stuff from.
But why? Okay, the one thing he's got skills, but why does he look like such a nerd? That's the question.
Because he is a nerd.
No, but come on,
man. I'll tell you why.
He invented Chikara.
Because if you are a white guy with a clean shaven face and a short haircut, then you already are working with disadvantage.
Yeah.
No, but forget that, man. Look at his clothes.
He's a massive weeb. He's a weeb.
I joked before, but the thing is, like, there's no way he chose the name Quackenbush and didn't know he was gonna be portraying kind of a dweeb.
Yeah. Like his
the name has quack in it.
He likes ducks.
Is that his real name or no?
I think it is. Is it? That's a good question.
I don't know.
But that finish though, the leg hook tombstone is fucking awesome though.
Yes, but before that, I did want to give a shout out to, I am just a sucker for double pump handle moves.
Oh yeah.
And I don't even know how to really, but the double pump handle lifted into the tombstone for the I guess like the lifted inverted lung blower. Beautiful.
Oh yeah. Fucking hell, people need to steal Krakenbush's shit more often.
I also wanted to shout out Yamato because that guy is also just so slick in this match and just in general as well.
Like, he's still fucking going. He's a double champion at the time of this fucking record. Like, triple champion even.
Now, the thing about... Yamato
Yamato, yes, correct. You did it. You did
So
it!
the thing about Yamato is there were multiple times in this match where he attacked Akuma, but every time it happened, it looked like the minimum amount of effort came from Quackenbush to avoid it, to the point where it just looked like Yamato was just attacking Akuma just because. So in the finishing stretch, he went for a spear, and Quackenbush took like 3-inch step to the left. And it's like, were you aiming for?
He could have been.
Aiming for
Yamato is kind of a bastard at this time, so yeah.
But yeah, so Quackenbush and
Yeah, he's
Jigsaw
great.
get the win. Then Akuma, Yamato, they do the beatdown. Hollow Wicked comes out,
Hell yeah, Hello Wicked.
and you're sitting there saying like you wish more people would steal Quackenbush's moves. And I'm sitting here, and you know I've been saying for the past decade, more people need to steal the Graveyard Smash.
Remind me what their Graveyard Smash is.
You'll lift into a Fisherman Buster, but then you flip him back down into a Spine Buster.
Oh yeah! Oh wait, that's
It's like a Fisherman Spine Buster version of the Hellevator.
Like that's because the
the
closest thing to that I can think of is like the Lance Storm, not Lance Storm, the Lance Cade like Gordita Krons.
So then these two come out, and I mean, let me make sure I have this right. The Young Bucks.
Yeah, the young Bucks, the pre TNA, pre
now they
Matt
seem
and Jeremy.
they seem like pretty cool, but I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at this like this show's from 2009. I assume at some point in the next 15 years they change that name because they're not going to be young anymore, right?
You think? I mean, I imagine so. Like,
You would think so,
they could...
but maybe at this point they were actually just the Neonate Bucks.
Well,
Wait,
when
did they start? By the way,
oh, not too. The point is like, well, that's the point. Is they cut a promo about how they've been called the tag team of the future for too long. They're the tag team of right now, and
yeah,
then
about that.
Jimmy Jacobs comes out.
Why the fuck is Jimmy Jacobs here?
That's not my question. My question is why is Mustafa Ali there?
And why is he wearing a keffiyeh? He's not Arab.
Well, he's Prince Ali, you see.
That's true.
So am I.
Prince Mustafa
Yes,
Ali.
you are, actually. Okay, so Jimmy Jacobs, he's here to start something. Ryan, what the fuck is he starting? Because I looked into this and he does not fucking start anything here.
I don't know. He's starting a faction. He wants the Young Bucks to join. They say
what
no.
Because I literally looked into it. He does not have a faction during this point.
Look, this is not going to be the first time. This is not going to be the first time that something is set up in this show that does not have a follow-up, okay?
You know, yeah, true. Oh my god, yeah, actually true.
So, the point is they do that. They want their title match, or they're mad because they're in the main event against the tag team champs.
Yeah, Real has
but the titles aren't on the line, and I'm sitting here like, yeah, why aren't they on the line?
Yeah, no. And then, yeah, Jimmy Jacobs comes out, like, he wants to start something, the Bucks turn him down. They get beat down before, like, you know, they come back, hit Ali with the more bang for your buck. And then Real has it, the champions come out, beat down the Bucks and tell the camera that, nah, fuck that, you're not getting a title shot.
I mean, would it have really mattered?
Not really, nah.
So, we move on, and part of me really wanted, like, this is a show from 15 years ago, part of me really wanted a man who needs no introduction to have been someone who was like, okay, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, no. But nah, instead you get Bryan Danielson.
Who's
Or
that?
Daniel Bryan now. Dirk Dickbutt.
Oh yeah, Dirk Dickbutt, of course.
But,
Iconic name, ring name.
but yeah, we got Bryan Danielson. No entrance.
Yeah, no entrance. I thought was he already in the ring?
Like, they turned off the lights, I think.
Oh yeah, they do. And then yeah, we have Naruki Doi, the Dreamgate champion.
Open the
Dreamgate.
Like, when I first learned about Dragon Gate, I'm like, wait, seriously? They name all their titles like that?
Yeah. Oh, dude, the fucking Dreamgate belt's like one of the fucking greatest of all time. Like, because like the fucking key gimmick is insane. Is incredible.
So the thing about Danielson and Sabre is they have this knack, this ability to do stuff that looks like they're destroying your arms, but if you actually think about it, they aren't doing anything. Not to be confused with when there's genuine arms aren't supposed to bend that way moments, but like they just have a way of like moving your arm. Like they'll just move it slightly to the left, and it's like, but they have a way of doing it that makes you go, "Oh my god, he's gonna break that arm."
Yeah, like Danielson especially like fucking mastered that shit. Like damn near everything he does, like it looks like it's done with the intention to like seriously fuck up your opponent.
Like some of these counters during this match just they don't really make them like that anymore.
They don't. They really don't. Like I need Danielson to like pass this shit on to like whoever the fuck's available.
Well, I mean that's funny, but we'll get to why that's funny in a bit.
Oh yeah, true.
So, during this match, I actually did get really sad because Danielson hit like a running enziguri.
Oh yeah,
and I thought it was really cool. But you can't do that if you adopt the Busaiku knee to your repertoire.
I think you can. Because like here's the thing, because like you have to, you're psyching him out. Like, is he gonna do?
No. We had this argument before about Hiromu, where it's like you have too many fireman's carry moves.
That's why he added the time bomb too.
The point is, anyway, look. So I like the idea of Danielson's leg trap German. And I'm sure it does something. But it always just feels redundant because halfway through it, the leg's just free anyway.
I mean, I think it's harder for the opponent to like, counter out of it or like actually not even counter out of it, like block it.
Oh, I want someone saying I'm sure it does something, but I don't know. Part of me is just like, can the leg somehow just stay hooked while you're doing the bridge? I don't know. I'm being
honestly, I feel like that would be like very hard to like do on the cooperative side of things, but yeah. No, I get your point.
So,
I get your point.
Like the thing that this match was just fun. It was good. It was like you can throw all these platitudes about it, but this match was just good.
It was like it wasn't like the top of fucking Danielson stuff, but like it was the perfect like Danielson showcase, a perfect Doi showcase too. Yeah. Like it hit all the beats it needed to.
I don't like the Doi 5s.
Oh,
I don't know. This feels so lackluster. Maybe spin a little. Maybe make it look like a sit out F5.
Yeah, true. I mean, like
but then again, Then again,
Drew,
I am complaining about a Bryan Danielson match for not being flashy enough.
oh man, that's pretty goofy thing to complain about.
I mean, something else to complain about is Doy. It's like you can't tiger suplex Danielson. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah, like this is a fucking great match.
Yes, there's there is a conversation to be had, and it's a tough one, and it pains me to say it. And I already sense people pulling out their pitchforks and their torches. Mac,
Yes,
Ali, is the cattle mutilation dumb?
very dumb. It's because I obviously like Danielson makes it look alright, but like in general, like yeah, it's not a very good move.
Well, I just remember. I don't even remember the particulars, but when he was in WWE, Daniel Bryan gave like a talk about like the reason they had him stop doing the cattle mutilation. Like
Alright.
it doesn't work as a TV move, and stuff like you can't see the opponent's face, and like there's some truth to that, and it's just
Hmm.
Danielson can make anything look good. That's the point.
Yeah, honestly, like I feel like AEW's done like a good job of like presenting that move because like
Right.
okay, because like a lot of the time it's actually more of a transition into like the the elbow smashes more than
Right.
anything.
So I knew this match was on the card. I did not know that Doi was the Dreamgate champion going into this match.
Oh yeah, fair.
Unfortunately, once I knew that, I'm like, oh, okay. So Danielson's here to do a job.
I mean, yeah, kind of. I mean, like it was non-title, so it was like, okay, maybe there's a chance that Danielson wins, but like, yeah.
I mean, I'm just remembering why AEW refused to book Pac when they first started.
Oh yeah, true.
I
Like,
mean, this is Dragon Gate USA. Like, it's still Dragon Gate, so they have more leeway there because it's their own decision. But they evidently they have a thing about making sure their champion looks strong.
yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like most companies have that sort of thing. Like,
Yeah, but I'll tell you what didn't look strong is I watched this over and over again just to make sure I wasn't like missing. No, Danielson 100% gave himself the muscular bomb.
yeah, true.
Like I don't even know if Doi had anything hooked when Danielson was flipping forward.
Uh, oh god, I can't remember actually. Like he might not have actually. Yeah.
But you know what? That's just me being pedantic, and nobody who was at the show was gonna remember that. Nobody or even notice it.
Mm,
So sometimes
yeah.
I'll tell myself to shut up.
True. Yeah. So
But
Joy wins with the muscular bomb, and then
at which
afterwards,
point Danielson grabs the mic and says, "Now is not the time for a farewell speech." It is currently 7:39 my time. I'll give you guys 10 minutes of cry time if you'd like.
wah.
But honestly, that's just something that it's another reason why it's another way that they don't make him like Danielson anymore.
Mm.
Because I honestly don't know if I can't really think of any like people who, as they were leaving the Indies, made it clear they wanted to do what they could to leave it better than they found it.
Yeah, like who the fuck else?
Because that
I,
was the whole point of this promo. Now, granted, he would be back in the Indies later, like literally less than a year later, but we didn't know that at the time.
oh, oh yeah, true. Like he decided to fucking trick a motherfucker out with a tie, and then
And then, but the point is, like, he went through this saying, yeah, I'm like, I want people to step up and take my spot.
yeah, like become the best in the world because I sure as fuck am not going to be, even though he does. Hey, but no, you know what? There's one guy who is indeed going to become the best wrestler in the fucking world, and that's because Brian's chancing him to do it right now, and that's Davey Richards.
Davey Richards.
How does that work out for him, Ryan?
Look, I mean, at this point, I didn't gush about this match as much, so I think you can figure out. It's Davey Richards' match that was the one that I came into this show knowing about and watching.
Of course, yeah.
I was a massive Davey Richards fan. Obviously, there have been some unfortunate allegations about him.
Yeah.
But the thing is, even before that, he was a problem. Like, he burnt bridge after bridge after bridge. Like, he famously screwed over any chance of going to WWE when he kind of, if I remember correctly, basically told Triple H to his face to go fuck himself.
Oh, I did not know that.
That's awesome.
Yes. In like the OG NXT, like before it became PWG Light, there was a tag team match between the Ascension and I want to say something like the American Pit Bulls, like some twist on it was the American Wolves. It was Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards with some other names. It was a tryout match. Yeah. During the match, I think at some point Richards got dropped on his head. Yeah. And they kept trying to take it home, and he didn't want to. And he got pissed off and yelled at Triple H saying, I know when I'm too hurt to continue. You don't stop my match, blah, blah, blah. And a couple weeks later, he and Eddie show up in TNA and make a joke about how they don't need a tryout match.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
But even without that, Richards was a problematic person. Like, he was notorious for just no showing and canceling bookings. I'm pretty sure he never lost the PWG championship. He was stripped of it for not showing up to a show.
Oh.
Really? I don't know.
See, like, when, like, me and Ollie were watching this, like, we were trying to figure out why the fuck didn't Davey Richards fucking, become the greatest ever? And I guess now we know.
Well, there's another aspect of this, which is, you know how people hate what Will Ospreay did to the wrestling scene?
Yeah, like weirdos on Twitter, yes.
Davey Richards did that first.
Yes.
Like Davey Richards is the kick pad wrestler.
Yeah, basically.
Yes, but I mean, I think he's sick though. Like, I don't.
No. I think Will Ospreay is sick.
Yeah, so do I. But
my point is, like, it's what he created.
Oh, I get what you mean. But couldn't you say Low-Ki did it before him?
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, Low-Ki was kind of like, I mean, couldn't you say that Ricochet was doing what Ospreay was doing before him? That's the point. There's always somebody, but then there's one that, like, rises above. And to be fair, Low-Ki did a lot of things before Davey Richards, including bridge burning.
Yes. Oh my god, true. I mean, look, until Davey Richards like fucking fucks his bridge up by wearing a suit to the ring, like for a match, then yeah.
But that
But
also gave us one of the most iconic attires in history of wrestling, so it's
True.
okay.
I mean, yeah, true.
look, the bottom line is, and I don't mean to talk down about the promotion itself because they do what they do and they do what they can, but when you get to a point in your wrestling career where the only place that'll book you is MLW,
Yeah, no, yeah.
like that's where Loki wound up, that's where Richards wound up, that's where Teddy Hart wound up. And yes, some of these people aren't wrestling anymore for good reason. That's where Matt Riddle has wound up. That's where Austin Aries wound up.
I'm surprised that Marty Skull hasn't round up there, but he's just
Well,
gone
there's
to fucking, you know, Puerto Rico.
there's levels, like like they're not open. The point is, Davey Richards is a Davey Richards is 10 pounds of nope in a 5-pound bag.
That's an incredible way to fucking sum it up. You know what?
But
That kind of I am.
But he was also an incredible pro wrestler.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
like we'll get to that like in just a little bit because yeah, no, that's crazy.
But before that, we have the Spanky.
Yes, the Spanky.
And a man who likes cola.
Shima.
So
Oh man, this was a
I was
match.
not I was not expecting the Brian Kendrick to show up, but we got him.
Yeah, we have him.
The
First
longest
ever.
reigning temporary WWE champion in history.
Yes,
Was he really?
yes, one of the greatest.
Well, yes, the longest reigning temporary.
No,
Because
not temporary, current.
Current WWE champion.
And then Shima, who is a really good wrestler.
Yeah.
A crazy motherfucker. He's bald now because Monkey.
I thought you meant now, but you mean in the show.
I mean, he's bald now as well, but like that's because he's just a fucking lunatic.
Yeah. So I don't have many notes about this match, but one note I do have is that Shima attempted to sodomize the Brian Kendrick.
Yeah. What in the actual fuck? Like, and it's not even like, you know, fucking just goofy. No, he actually fucking goes for it.
I'm not exaggerating either.
Yeah, he gets him like fucking splayed legged in the fucking corner.
He bends him over.
Like, yeah. He actually tried to fuck him. Holy shit.
anyway, like that, I don't really have too much to say about this match either.
Like Kendrick eats shit off a fucking backstabber at one point, and then that's about it. He doesn't even go for like the Kendrick at any point in the match.
You mean the sliced bread number 2?
Yes, the Kendrick. Yes.
And Shima wins via Meteora.
Yes, of course. Because
as one does.
Yes,
As he does.
Match,
Yes, as he does.
As he does.
So
let's just move on.
Yeah, so then we get, as I was like, the match that got me into outside of WWE and TNA wrestling.
Yeah.
Shingo and Davey Richards. And this match will always be remembered as the match where the crowd chanted at Shingo, "Where's your mullet?"
Yeah, because he lost it because fucking Monkey.
The aforementioned
It's a
Monkey.
whole story. It is the whole story.
Big crazy story. Big abuse.
So I already gave my thoughts at the start of the show about this. what did you guys think about this match? Have you seen this match before?
No.
Have you seen this match?
I had
no,
not.
I hadn't. Dude, I did not expect the match to go that fucking hard.
It was amazing, in my opinion.
Like, because I'm not the biggest like David Richards guy because I thought he was fine in like fucking TNA. Like, I thought like he was sort of held back by fucking like Eddie Edwards, like
Eddie Edwards.
Eddie Edwards, Davey Eddie Edwards Richards.
No. If anything, it's Eddie Davey Richards Edwards.
No, because that would make Eddie Edwards good, and he's not.
Yes.
He sucks.
No, my point. The point is, Ring of Honor literally made a storyline about the fact that Eddie Edwards was living in Davey Richards' shadow, even as Ring of Honor champion.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally a reason why that era of Ring of Honor is called the Clone Wars.
I never heard that until right now.
It's one of my favorite fucking names for that era of all time.
The point is, when someone watches one of your favorite things for the first time, you hold your breath, really hoping that they at least say, "Yeah, it was good." So I've been holding this breath since the start of the show, which is a miracle considering I've been talking this whole time.
Yeah, that's literally how I feel anytime I recommend Thunderbolt Fantasy to someone. Audience, please watch Thunderbolt Fantasy.
To know that you guys enjoyed this match.
Oh yeah, this match fucking ruled so much. Like Davey Richards is a crazy motherfucker. He does at one point a tope that barely hits fucking Singo, and he goes flying into the crowd.
I think it was into the third row or something.
Into the third fucking row.
That was the commentary. That was the commentary call. Davey Richards goes flying 3 rows deep. Here's the thing. That's not rare for Davey Richards. I watched a lot of Davey Richards matches back then. He used to do that all the time.
That
guy was intense as hell, man. Like, everything he did, including that dive, was with, like, everything. Like, he was putting his everything into it.
CM Punk famously said on commentary that nobody but Darby Allin should be doing the suicide dive. But I don't know if he's ever seen Davey Richards.
I imagine he would have at one time. Maybe he wouldn't. Like, were they in Ring of Honor together, or like was Richards afterwards?
I think Richards maybe I think he got his start sometime in Ring of Honor in like 2005.
Oh, okay. So it would have been very brief, but like it wouldn't have been like this Davey Richards yet.
Right, and I once heard a radio interview by CM Punk when he showed up at one of the radio stations I used to listen to back in the day. Actually, no, Davey Richards' debut was in June of 2006.
Oh, okay.
But Punk said, he tries to keep his finger on the pulse of the indie scene, but he doesn't really pay attention. Was his words. As he was this was 2011 Punk too. So that was right when Richards was making his big rise to the top.
Oh, okay. Imagine the timeline where first WWE champion CM Punk does go to Ring of Honor and just sees Davey Richards.
Well, it's funny you say that because that was the time period that Tyler Black was doing his own Summer of Punk storyline.
Oh, okay.
Like literally, he announced that he signed with WWE when he was Ring of Honor champion and said, "I think I'm going to take this with me."
See, Seth's always been a fucking little bitch.
I mean, we don't have time to get into that, but yeah.
Speaking of comparisons, Davey Richards looks a lot like Dynamite Kid, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, that was literally the commentary. That's literally commentary's opening this match.
I know, and
explosive.
But the thing is, not just acts like him; he looks like him as well.
Yeah. So, you guys know Shingo far better than me. Was Pumping Bomber a thing back at this point?
I think so.
It probably would have been, yeah.
Because they were just calling him lariats, and
Oh yeah, but like it's fucking two like rando dudes.
It's Lenny
calling it.
Leonard. What do you mean rando?
It's yeah, true. It's Lenny Leonard,
I
not
mean,
Lenny.
you guys. I mean, you guys want to you guys want to harp on him for Yamato. At one point, he pointed out Davey Richards getting Shingo in the Juji Gatame.
Yes! Oh my god! That what? This guy needs to fucking study the fuck up on names.
Wait, remind me what you were referring to?
Like
An armbar?
yeah, the armbar.
No, isn't that's just all he doesn't. Oh, I thought you meant he
He
called
did-
it wrong.
Yeah, no,
No,
yeah,
he called it a Juji Gatame.
yeah, the Gatame.
Gatame. Mm,
Instead of like the Gatame.
yeah.
So I can't tell if Davey Richards has a good shooting star press or not.
I think he does.
Yeah,
You say that, but he stopped doing it. And do you know why he stopped doing it?
because he didn't want to become fucking Billy Kidman.
No, because he did it once and he didn't move forward at all, and so he just landed on the turnbuckle.
Oh yeah, wait,
So,
that was him.
as in he became Billy Kidman.
He became Billy.
But like, it was fascinating because like the shooting star presses I've seen are like the Evan Bourne one where they just completely arch their back backwards, or even like, I mean, the only one that comes to mind off the top of my head is like the Lesnar one where it's like a backflipping forward frog splash, where they like bend
Jushin
forward.
Liger
Davey
did it like
Richards-
that too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Davey Richards keeps his body completely straight the whole time, and I'm just in awe.
Yeah, actually, oh wow, yeah. Like that's okay. Huh.
But again, eventually he just stopped doing it because it was just that one botch.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, like if you fuck it up that one time, like especially on a move
Yeah, that's
as
what I'm saying.
dangerous as that, like yeah, it was
Oh
like,
yeah. Now, I also want to tell you that I watched this match before I ever watched any MMA, any UFC. So this match was my introduction to a Kimura.
Really?
Oh yes.
Wait, hey,
And
wait.
it
Yeah.
was
Oh, okay. You mean in general? Yeah.
yeah.
For some reason, I thought you meant now. It's like
No, I mean like back in the day.
yeah.
So if anything, I'm just sitting here like, oh man, why doesn't Frank Mir do it like Davey Richards did?
Bro.
I know. But then I also, as I got more into the Davey Richards, I realized he was one of those wrestlers that, like, I was not used to wrestlers with, like, multiple finishers. Like, 2 at the max. 3 if you were The Undertaker.
Oh yeah, you definitely weren't fucking Gunter Code yet.
No. What was Gunther even doing in 2009?
Where he was dressing like a fucking weirdo.
Like a clown
Like
thing,
bleaching
right?
his hair.
Yeah. Weird
So,
clown, man.
So, like, he doesn't really use the Kimura, like, to win a lot of other big matches other than this. Like, eventually it becomes like the Cloverleaf was more his signature. But, yeah, I loved this match. This match, 15 years later, still caused me to feel things. Made me nostalgic. Made me wish Davey Richards was a better person.
True.
It made me feel all those things, and this is the first time I watched it. So
Yeah.
um,
It made me wish that Danielson was more accurate.
Yeah.
It made
Well-
me wish Danielson picked fucking like fucking Steve Carino or something.
Now,
Steve Carino.
now speaking of as you mentioned earlier, like speaking of things that seemed set up but then didn't seem to go anywhere, Davey Richards comes out or calls out Danielson, says he appreciates what Danielson had to say, goes to shake his hand, and then, kicks him in the arm and starts beating him down, and declares that he is going to be the Open the Freedom Gate champion.
Does he?
His next match in this promotion was being eliminated in the first round of the tournament by
Oh, lovely.
by Yamato.
Oh,
Okay.
oh wait, does Yamato win the belt in the end?
I don't think so.
Who was
Actually,
yeah? Have a look. Please.
I think no. B&B Hulk.
Oh,
Okay.
B&B Hulk.
I don't know.
Airbnb Hulk.
Airbnb
Hulk.
Hulk.
The point, no, which it's funny because earlier in the show, commentary pointed out that BB Hulk lost a match at the previous show, and he's not on this card, so that tells you how important wins and losses are.
Oh yes.
Now, to be fair, Richard Davey, they in the also things is they made the statement that Davey Richards is here to stay. After he lost to Yamato,
Does he only have one more match after that?
he does.
Oh,
that said, he did win something.
what did he win?
Let's play a trivia game. This is a title that I always wondered if it's real because I see a lot of wrestlers who have it, but I've never heard of the promotion the title belongs to existing. Even though
Is it that one that Go Shiozaki had as well?
I don't know.
FIP or something like that? FBI something?
It is the FIP.
Oh,
Yes.
Because I know Danielson had it. I know Roderick Strong had it. Do you have a guess as to who he beat for it? It was not Shizaki.
Oh, let's see who would it? Who? What's even the fucking roster this time?
Let me. It's someone who you would associate with Dragon Gate more than an American indie.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, interesting. Cause I'm trying to think of who the fuck's on the roster at this point.
Who would be sick to see Davey Richards wrestle in January of 2010?
January 2010,
Dragon Gate guy.
God.
I'm at a bit of a loss. Why don't you tell us?
And he's still wrestling today.
He's still wrestling.
And literally, in fact, he literally had a match today.
Oh.
Today?
I'm super blanking, actually. I am super blanking.
What wrestling promotion? Dragon Gate.
Dragon Gate.
Oh.
Ultimary?
Nope.
No,
Okay,
come on, man.
Wait,
the Dragon Gate
come
card.
on, he's still going.
Was it Mochizuki?
It was Mochizuki.
Yeah, Mochi.
That does sound sick, actually.
Unfortunately, Dragon Gate USA was one of the few indies that Meltzer rated, and that match got 3 4/4.
Oh.
Or 3 3/4.
I mean, that's
interesting.
And Cage Match gives it a 6.7.
Well, that's less good.
It is, but you would hope for better. I would hope for better of Davey Richards.
That's what I think. 3 3/4 is okay. 6.7 not as good.
Meltzer gave Richard Shingo 4.5.
But the important score is what you give it. 0.7.
I gave it a 10. I give it a 10 out of 10.
I gave it a
9.5.
Give it a 1 out of 1.
Oh, 1 out of 1.
Yeah. And that was our main event. What a great show this was.
Yep, no matches after this.
Good
I'm
time.
gonna be honest. I'm going to be honest. Like, as I've said earlier, this was the only match on this card I had watched previously. So once I realized it wasn't the main event, I mean, this main event wasn't great anyway. But
Oh yeah.
add that I was coming down from like an adrenaline high.
Yeah, like,
So
why was this the fucking main event?
I don't know.
Yeah, there
Like,
were two
here's the
matches on
thing.
this card that could have been the main event, and the main event was not
And
one of those two matches.
Like, if this,
forget match quality. Forget match quality. You had your Dreamgate champion in the middle of the card.
yeah,
Yeah, you
you're
have
like,
the
okay,
Dreamgate champion, you have Bryan Danielson, and then you have
Like,
this match that they've just built as being with the next generation guys or whatever. And then
like, and again, if this match was a tag title match,
yeah,
I could see making it the main event.
yeah,
exactly.
it's the only title. It would be the only title match on the show. Fair enough. But no, it's a non-title match.
And okay, so it's Real Hazard, Genki Horiguchi, and Ryo Saito versus the Young Bucks, Matt, Nick Jackson. And it is every like dirty heel cheating tag team versus plucky babyface tag team with indie moves you've ever seen.
Okay, so the big thing here is like when the Young Bucks are on the sign, like the match is actually good, but when like the heels are healing, like the match is fucking boring.
Now, here's the thing. This might be one of the earliest Young Buck matches I've seen. Like, I've seen some of them in PWG too. Obviously, I did a watch through PWG, but it's fascinating seeing basically the parts being there but not connecting quite as much yet.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't help who they're fighting, though.
No, but I've seen like just things like Nick Jackson doing the like springboard, or not springboard, but like hopping onto the apron and doing a moonsault, and then he did the slingshot facebuster, where now he's reversed it, and that sequence is so much smoother.
Yeah, they're
Like,
still
it's just
working
little
through
things
it.
like that. Just little things like that.
But on the other hand, this is before Matt Jackson had a permanently broken back, so he could actually move as well. It wasn't only Nick that can move at the time.
True.
Yeah, they haven't gone to TNA. They haven't met the fucking Machine Guns yet.
I don't even think there was that many. Was there a single super kick in this match?
I think
the fact that you're thinking says it all.
I swear
the fact that I have to think about it.
Honestly, like, this is the only match that I have like zero fucking notes for. Like, this match was nothing.
Because the start of it was so boring.
Yep.
The start was so boring. Like, they went, like, you guys know me. I don't care for when wrestling goes into the crowd or when it leaves the ring. And then the finish was just every dirty heel cheating finish you've ever seen.
True. Like, it's not quite like House of Torture level bad, but like
it was pretty bad.
I mean, it's pretty bad.
I mean, isn't Kanemaru in House of Torture right now?
He is, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so some of it is literally House of Torture stuff. Except it's whiskey instead of poison mist.
Oh, I mean, poison mist is cool though.
I mean, I kind of prefer it being whiskey.
Poison mist, wasn't it? It was like the Pepsi mist.
I don't know. It was not a great finish. It was not a great finish to the match. It was not a great finish to the show. The effort was put in.
Bizarre booking in general, to be fair, just doing that.
Yeah.
It was.
Look, as long as you end the story after Richards versus Singo, like, it's an amazing story.
Hell, like I said, like, they changed stuff for the DVD. Like, there was a whole, like, and we watched the DVD version because there was a battle royal or an 8-way elimination match we didn't see.
Yeah, which Johnny Gargano won apparently.
Oh, well, thank God we didn't watch that then.
Well, Johnny Gargano, Arik Cannon, Flip Kendrick, Hallowicked, Louise Linden, Prince Mustafa Ali, Shima Zion,
Shima Zion, holy shit.
which and the Great Malaki.
The Great
I-
Malaki, oh my god.
I'm not gonna talk about it, but I looked that guy up afterward because I was curious about him because I've never heard of him before, and yeah, it was weird. But I'm not gonna bother talking about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
but here's your second trivia question. Spell Shima Zion.
Yeah,
Xima.
Nope.
Oh,
yeah, I have it in front of me, and I would never guess this. It's
okay, triple Z.
SHIIMA and then XION. So it's yeah. I don't know.
I mean, thank God he eventually came to a more normal name, like a less tricky to say name.
Yeah, like DJZ.
Oh no, I'm talking about Joaquin Wild.
No, he went to like a easier name and said, you know what, find out, let's go to
Well,
this
eventually he just became Zima Ion.
Zima.
Which is
I
a
mean,
lot
Zima,
easier
yeah,
than Shima Zion
fine
with
name.
that weird spelling. But
Yeah.
And then apparently he also went by Michael Monte Carlo.
yeah, apparently he was
That's the
trained by Super
most...
Hentai as well. So
But the fact that
Oh,
we're
yeah.
talking about DJZ instead of the main event kind of says it all.
yeah,
Yeah,
No,
true.
this was this was a good show. I enjoyed it.
Oh, I like the story.
This was, I will say, this was the highest rated show in Dragon Gate USA history.
That makes a lot of sense, given what's on this card, yeah.
So the first show is an on cage match is a 9.15. This was a 9.35. They never break 9 again.
Wait, the first one was a 1.9?
No,
9.1,
9.15.
Oh,
bro.
okay.
9.15 and then 9.35, and then they never break 9 again.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, yeah, because it just become fucking evolve after this.
It goes 9.2, 9.35, 8.44, 7.5, 6.3.
They don't even have Chris Hero yet.
It's just this promotion, like I remember being interested in this promotion, and then I just never heard of them again after this. I'm personally a little surprised that Danielson Doi is ranked higher than Richard Shingo, but I'm biased on that.
I was like, yeah.
No, I agreed with you. Actually, I looked at that. I was just surprised by that because Danielson Doi, it was really good. But I've seen better matches from both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, like this match made me a Davey Richards fan. It probably would have made me a Shingo fan if I had the means at the time to watch Shingo.
True.
But when he entered Best of Super Juniors for the first time, I'm like, I know who this guy is. I'm all in.
Yeah, like this is still like baby Shingo, basically.
Which is funny because isn't he being treated as like the veteran against Davey Richards?
I mean, kind of, yeah. But like he doesn't, he becomes like Shingo like in the next like fucking decade.
To be fair, he's wrestling the exact same way.
I mean, yeah, kind of actually, yeah. But
No.
I would say he's a lot more fluid now.
Hey. This guy's finisher was called the Last Falconry. Thank you very much.
Oh, true.
I mean, that didn't change until he left Dragon Gate, where he was way established by then.
Yeah, yeah, true.
But yeah,
he likes falcons.
But yeah, so I think that this was a fun show. I had a lot of fun with it. Like I fun going back. I mean, there were just a lot more people on the card that I recognized than I thought I would. I was a lot more familiar with some of them. Just the fun nostalgia of revisiting Shingo and Richards. Like, yes, I'm still very sad about how things turned out for Davey Richards. I wish he, like I said, I wish he was a better person. But this match still, it still meant something to me.
Oh yeah.
Even as a first time watcher, this match was just sick. Like I could watch it from the perspective of watching it from then. I could even watch it from the perspective of watching it in the current time as well. This match was sick, regardless.
Yeah. Just a couple more notes on that match, just because I was thinking about them. On one hand, this might bug me. This might bug me less than you guys or another sort of wrestling fan. As long as you do a little bit of limping between the moves, I'm not really beat up over the fact that, like, oh, he's working the leg and now he's doing this. But then on top of that, Richard's legs just look so powerful. I can buy that a couple minutes later, he's back to being able to use them.
Yeah, but that does remind me. On the other hand, Shingo's like arm selling was and still is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. But one thing that's not phenomenal, and it was my complaint about Richards in 2009, and it's my complaint about it now. And actually, it's even worse now because, and let me finish, it's even worse now because I've seen Jon Moxley. The DR driver is just shit.
Yeah, that looked like a suplex, not a driver, but
yeah, it's supposed to be a double arm brain buster, but I have never
Bloody Sunday,
seen
basically,
him hit it.
right?
No, because the Bloody Sunday. No, it's a Death Rider. It's a Death Rider.
Oh yeah, sorry, Death Rider. Yeah,
but he has never hit it in a way that doesn't just look like a butterfly suplex.
Okay, fair.
Which would be fine if they weren't calling it a driver.
Actually, wait, no, yeah, I remember. Actually, no, I thought that was just a fucking butterfly suplex.
No, that was supposed to be a brain buster.
Oh,
the DR driver. It was, and I don't know what Richards was doing wrong that Moxley does right. I think there might be some physics to the fact that he like hooks the arms too much.
And Moxley's also a lot taller.
Yeah.
True, but yeah.
Honestly, more of a basic
you think being shorter would help because you got a lower center of gravity. Look at Taz.
But it'll make the guy that you're picking up, he'll rotate faster.
Yeah, fine. The point is, it's bad. Moxley is great.
Yeah, I don't.
And that's the show.
Wait a second.
Well, but that's open the Untouchable gate. But Ali, you're next on the rotation. Mind telling us what we're watching next?
So next, we're gonna go a bit back in time. So this, as far as I remember at least, is actually gonna be the oldest show that we've got planned so far. And so we're going all the way back to 1994 with the original Super J Cup, which the 90s junior heavyweights was that was one of my first ways of getting into Japanese wrestling. Obviously not at the time, obviously, several years later, but still. So I don't think there's any better show to get into that 90s junior heavyweight wrestling than with the Super J Cup, the original one. So that's what we're looking at next time.
That's incredible. Because I don't think I've actually watched that one.
All the better.
Yeah. Well, that's it for today's episode. Thank you very much for listening. I'm MakonCrayley. That was AliRock. And this is Ryan. That's Ryan Schramm too. We'll see you next time on the Freeway Den.